proof of concept in India, and we've demonstrated it over a 500 million consumer base. I think that's the biggest possible proof of concept that can be built. In terms of the thinking that goes behind it, has been, as I said, what's good for India is good for Reliance. But when you build something, our thought process, our philosophy is that, one, whatever we get into has to be differentiated, has to be disruptive, has to be revolutionary. It has to be something that we can build for the entire country, for 1.4 billion people. It has to be something which cannot be replicated fast enough. For that, the execution capability has to be much stronger and much faster. It has to be something that can provide a differentiated value for the people. If that is something which is getting built, then we go for it. If it is just something which is more of the same, we don't build it. So today, I'll give you an example, you mentioned about Patal Ganga. So, somebody had once, this is here, I also heard this. Somebody said, that this gentleman left the organization, he's taken the entire dossier of everything, of the refinery. So the chairman's response was, if refineries can be built and executed with a dossier, then the world would have built it up. It takes something else. It takes that human intelligence, it takes that passion behind it, it takes the investment behind it. So you need to be able to build and invest behind it. So the whole green technology that we are now betting on and we are investing behind, again, it's going to be at scale. It's going to build for the country.
Sorry, just a follow-up. I hope I have the time for that. It's one thing when you have a chairman who says big things. It's another thing to have an organization that follows that. So my question to you is, as president, if you're hiring or looking at a senior management in Jio, what are the qualities you would look for in a person like that?
One thing that we look for, and I personally, when I'm interviewing people, skill set is a given when you're bringing people. Experience is a given when you're bringing people. His qualifications are a given. All that has been done already. And that is why the person has reached the stage of interview. What I look for is whether the person has the right attitude, whether the person has done something himself or herself, or has just followed a process. Has the person actually done the work or just followed a process? Because sometimes the brands have been very powerful. As a result of that, people have done well. They've done well because of the brand. It's very few times that the brand has done well because of the people. Okay? I go back to my old example of Nokia. A lot of people used to think, oh, I was in Nokia, we did this, we did that. And I used to tell my people, and this is an example which everybody can follow. I used to tell them, remember when you go out, people will treat you as gods because you've got 75% share of the market. Everybody will treat you as a god. Danger is if you believe you are one. And second thing I used to say was, remember, Nokia may not be in the same position forever. And number two, you may not be in Nokia forever. Both came true for a lot of people. So I look for that attitude, I look for that passion, I look for the person's ability to be able to roll up the sleeves and take charge whenever required. I look for a person's ability to guide people, to be able to guide teams, to be able to stand with the team and say, yes, we've done it, or do we fail? Of course, we fail a lot of times. It's not that the graph has gone like this. We failed along the way, but we learned quickly. We failed fast, we learned fast, and then we stood by our people. I'm sharing something with you in confidence. No salesperson in Jio has ever hit the target. And nobody has been sacked because of it. The reason is, thank you. The reason is we take audacious targets for ourselves. We think about hitting the sky. That's why we hit the mountaintops. We recognize effort, we recognize passion, we recognize the innovation that goes behind people's execution. That's what we recognize. That's what we reward. And that's the reason why this organization behaves the way it behaves. Some people say, who are outside, oh, it's a very centralized organization, nothing goes. You can make mistakes, learn from it, don't repeat them. You can make mistakes, keep learning, keep growing. That's how we work, and work fast. We don't believe in wasting time. If we have to make a mistake, make that mistake quickly enough, but then turn it around. So, there's a whole lot of slides and data, and I don't know if you'd really be interested in this or not, but clearly it's about, a few things which I want to share with you. One is, I don't want to talk about a whole lot of these slides, One is clearly, this is what was in 2022 when 5G started. This was the position on the left side of the screen that you see. A little bit in US, a little bit in Europe, a little bit in Southeast Asia. And in 2026, when you see, look at where India is. It's all green. That's what 5G coverage is, and that's how we've covered 5G in the country. This is what I meant when I said Jio is now the world's largest data operator, 15 exabytes per month. That's the kind of data we consume. Google Gemini, I spoke about. People who have not started it, I'll encourage you to start. You ask questions. You ask the relevant questions, you'll get the intelligent replies. But give it the right inputs to give you the replies. It does a whole lot of things. People can play around with it. People can learn from it. There's something also which I want to share with all of you. If you were to look at it, amongst all the OTT platforms that you come across, there is only X and there is only Netflix, where USA is ahead of India in terms of number of users and number of subscribers. For everything else, India is #1 subscriber country. And that is as a result of what we did. In terms of the execution, when you asked how we scale it up, that's a learning. These are all our Jio points and our points of interaction with our customers. Whatever new thing we bring, we test it in one Jio center, one Jio point. We perfect it. And after that, we multiply it by 6,500 times. And that's how we are able to roll it out. Anything new, we are able to roll it out within 24 hours. We are saying we are one-hop organization. We have a national headquarters, we have regional headquarters, we have state headquarters, then we have Jio centers, and then we have Jio points. Yet I say we are a one-hop organization because the platforms, the technology platforms that we have, at the market level, today, if a person takes a Jio subscription, right now, it will reflect in the national headquarters in Navi Mumbai. We'll be able to see it, and in parallel, every other layer will be able to see it on a need-to-know basis. So we are actually a one-hop organization because we've put everything on a technology platform. Everything is connected on a technology platform, and that's how we work. That's how we are so close to our customers. So a whole lot more data that we have already spoken about. For industries and for enterprises, there's a lot which is happening. In terms of devices also, from influencing and developing chipsets together with the global organizations, to hardware, to operating systems, to the cloud, to applications, a whole lot is inbuilt. This is something which I want to talk about. This is something which is very, very important. There are still 25 crore people, 250 million people in this country who are on 2G technology. They use keypad phones. At one point of time, there were 400 million when we launched JioPhone. 150 million of them have moved from basic 2G technology in which you get just voice and SMS and nothing else, to JioPhone, which is the first internet-enabled keypad phone. Today, on this phone that you see, forget the dollar price, it starts at 799 rupees for a customer. 799 rupees is the price of the phone. Monthly, your ex-organization, Vodafone, Airtel, everybody else, charges 199 rupees for 2G. Voice, SMS, nothing else. For this, we charge 123 rupees for a customer. In this 123 rupees, what do we give?